It's October, so what does that mean? The stats are in through 2021, the month of September. This is your Bellingham and Whatcom County real estate market update. What the heck is happening out there? My name is Sean Hackney, realtor here, broker owner with Next Home Northwest Living here in Bellingham, 32-year resident of this beautiful area, and it's time to take a deeper look at what the heck is happening in our real estate. Okay, so now let's take a look at my screen and let's take a deeper dive, a deeper look at Bellingham. You'll notice that I've put all price ranges. This is Bellingham. Those of you familiar with our area, this is excluding the area we refer to as Sudden Valley. It is a Bellingham address, but it's its own unique entity and area. So we're only looking at Bellingham, and I've also only selected residential. We've eliminated condo data from this, and so we can take a look at this. So we're going to jump to through September of 2021. Median sales price is typically what we use versus average. It tends to be a little bit more accurate in what is happening. So you'll see, end of September 2021, our median sales price in Bellingham, Washington was $605,000. If you guys remember back to last month, the update, we're looking at August 2021. We're up $10,000 in Bellingham from $595 to now $605. Let's pop back again just so you guys can see the graph and where it's going. But January 2021, the beginning of this year, median sales price was $530. That is an incredible appreciation in such a short amount of time. And then let's take a look at pre-pandemic going into January 2020. We are looking at $483,000 as the median sales price in Bellingham. So in this short amount of time from the beginning, basically, let's call it the beginning of COVID through now, from 483 clear up to 605. The same type of trend occurs in Whatcom County. On that, I'll link below some of those statistics. Let's take a look at new listings during the same time frame. So new listings, September of 2021, we had 1,047 in Bellingham, versus last month we were at 1,052. So that pretty much remained stable. Pending sales. So we're down slightly, but not much. So we're at 954 pending sales through September 2021. We were at 977 last month. So you'll see even up here at our peak for the year in June at 1,027, it's down, but end of summer tends to be like that. And then we have a nice period during the fall time if we look at the historic trends. Jump to closed sales. We ended September 2021, 978 from 994. Again, not a super big difference in closed sales. Let's take a look at month supply. You will see that last month and this month, it's 0.7 of a month. What that means is if no additional inventory came on, nothing, that we would run out of homes to sell in about 3 weeks, which is incredibly low. You will see that even back here, July 2020, or even come back clear back to 2018, we're at 1.8 months. To give you perspective, a balanced market it's not a buyer's market, it's not a seller's market. It would be 6 months that it would take to run out of inventory. You can see that for quite some time, we have been low inventory. The pandemic and other variables have definitely driven that to all-time lows. So definitely a seller's market. Percentage of list price. Depending on the area, even within the Bellingham city limits, this changes. This shows is only 102.5. I would argue that there are some portions of Bellingham, let's say I'm going to call it the Bellingham core, that you're going to see 10 to 15% that you have to come in as a buyer at a minimum. not to mention all the other terms and conditions that you need to make sure and consider possibly waiving, unfortunately, to be competitive in this market. Whatcom County, I won't jump to that on the screen, but we're going to look at the same. We're at 519,250 as our median sales price. In August, it was at 509,900. So about the same dollar amount, about $10,000. Go back to January 2020, the beginning of the pandemic, 400,000. So again, even across Whatcom County and all of our markets around here, we're seeing significant increases. So let's take a look at why is this happening and where are we going. So what does all this mean? Where are we going? Where did we come from? But let's take a look back to January 2020, pre-COVID, let's call it. There was pent-up demand going into last year, big excitement in the real estate market. And then, middle of March came and we had, we'll just call it a shutdown here in our local real estate market, but it wasn't for very long, but it was right there in the middle of our spring season. One of the most popular times to buy and sell in most real estate markets. All that did was just push the real estate season, let's call it, through the end of the year, where we'd normally have a little bit, let's just say, of a seasonal slowdown. We ended up just crazy numbers. You can blame that on the low interest rates. You can say the stock market went wild, people had extra money. A couple other things happened. Obviously, COVID, people realized that they can work remotely. People from in our area, that let's just say the Seattle market, found our prices pretty inexpensive compared to what they were used to. So a lot of people were driving that hour and a half, 2 hours north to buy a home here and be able to work remotely. What we're also seeing is, I'm going to call it the Aspen Effect. People were having so much equity in their homes in other places of the country. Again, the stock market was going wild. They took those resources and they began planting it up here. So Bellingham has ultimately been discovered. We've kind of always been this little hidden gem up here, halfway between Vancouver, BC and Seattle. If you love the outdoors, this is a place to be. It's a college town, but yet a high retirement community as well. So just a really interesting and fun dynamic. Again, we were discovered, and you put all those other elements together, and that is a big reason for these huge price appreciations. Where are we going? Nobody has the crystal ball. I will say that, rates are artificially low. I don't think that can be sustained, but I also believe that we are in a highly sought after area, and I don't see, this is not a bubble. A bubble is a big pop. We experienced that here previously, not too long ago, and I know the feelings that people that were around in the real estate market or buying or selling during that time. The feelings, it feels the same, right? But it's not the same. That was driven by the lending industry, giving away pretty poor loans to basically anybody who could fog a mirror. This is completely different. What I think the most interesting thing, and we're going to see how the months and years to come, the dynamic, the demographic here in Bellingham and Whatcom County has changed. Our buyer, at least currently, is no longer necessarily people within Bellingham and Whatcom County. It's people from out of the area. I hope you found this valuable. If you like, please like it. Please subscribe. It helps this channel grow as we get this started. Again, my name is Sean Hackney with Next Home Northwest Living.